All right, fellas. So we pick things up yet again in this screening or interview that Miss Frozen Eggs Kendra G here, this rigmarole that she's taking Mr. Michael Leonard here through. We pick things up from part two. In part three now, the Bad BI Chronicles.
Michael, I'm not sure if I asked you this question. When was your last relationship?
That's my wife. I've been trying. It ain't been looking right. It ain't been looking good for me.
Okay, you don't gotta answer this question, but when was the last time you was intimate with a woman?
What this month? Couple 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago. Why can't you be in a relationship with that woman?
She had too many kids. She's pretty, but I just can't do too many kids.
How many kids does she have?
3.
So that was a deal breaker for you.
Yeah. Then they was by different dads. Like, then you weren't even married. I'm like, that count. People don't think that count, but that counts.
It absolutely counts. And Michael here is clearly a one woman man, and he's a simple man who's a quiet man who stays out of drama. And to put 16 years into the railroad as a locomotive operator, as a conductor, pretty much, that's a big deal. 16 years, and in 4 more years retirement. He's trying to retire at 20 years in the company. And so when you're out here, I get it. Man wanted to probably get a release. So, that's what the 3 weeks were ago. Many people probably say, well, why he mess with her then? I agree with you. Because if she's got 3 children, she had those same 3 children before, you laid down with her. You knew her toxicity. And this is where, as a man, as a male, many males would do these type of things. But, at the end of the day, we have to mature. I say it all the time. To me, if I had to look at it, that might have been an F grade for me, because, or even I'll say a C minus, because you should know better. But 9 out of 10, he could possibly still be getting over the marriage, even though he's been widowed 5 years. It's clear that the baby mama was just that, a baby mama, and then she was a bus off of him. He said that she had several different baby fathers. We don't know if that was 2 or at best 3, but it's definitely 2, with 3 kids and multiple baby fathers. And yes, absolutely, as he said about the marriage thing, it absolutely matters. But you know who it matters to? People who really know the word, people who really know the scriptures. And there are scriptures telling you how to deal with a woman who goes and get divorced and deals with somebody else, whether she gets married again. And let's just say a woman gets married to you, has your seed, births your seed, then she go run to another man and he sprays all in her. The scripture says that she is defiled. She was never a widow. She had no business leaving you. She's now gone from undefiled to defiled, meaning from undeformed to deformities. And see, a lot of people think that sickness doesn't still arrive as a punishment for doing wrong, but it still does. You think about the cancers and different things that come up on these women sometimes, and even the men. But especially with these women out here just allowing so many different DNAs in their spirit, in their womb, that's why their mental is off. That's why the balance and the chemistry is off. If you can sit up here and say your pH balance could be off from certain semen, then you can definitely attest and assert that several different DNAs will throw your mind off after a while. People crack me up. Oh, you guys been together 13 years. You're starting to look alike. Duh. He's been spraying in her for 13 years. So what do you think any type of DNA coming up in and up out of you on a regular is going to be like? It's not a good deal. It's not something that, what I'm saying, you go around doing on a regular. And so at the end of the day, I understand specifically what he's talking about. because you want a woman, and he's going to prove it, what I'm saying. You want a woman, you're supposed to have a woman that you can actually have an impression on. Your imprint is supposed to mean something. But if she's had 20 and 30 and even 5 partners, that can override your one imprint, your one presence. All the masculinity coming up out of her when y'all behind closed doors, etc. It can override who you are and challenge you and the authority that you are as supposedly the man of the house, the Christ, the priest, the pastor, the covering, the protection. They want all that, but they want you to fight through the masculinity that they built up inside of them during all these hot girl summer years. And they want you to, because it's a man's job to mold her. So if she comes to you with all that on her, you still have to mold her if you took on that assignment. The best thing for you is to call it out, understand what it is, and say, you know what? I'm not going to deal with that because she's already got too many pressures. Because the second he laid down with her, he knew what she had on her. And when he got up, he definitely knew what she had on her. And that's why he didn't stay with her. And this is where, as a man, you get mature enough to say, I'm not going to lay down with this woman. I'm not going to lay down with that woman. I'm not going to lay down with this woman. You know why you're doing that? Because you understand that there's a difference between your rib and a spare rib. There's a lot of spares out here. Women outnumber men by 2 million practically. So when it comes down to it, you have to make up in your mind what's a spare rib, meaning it's somebody else's. Everybody's not your woman, brothers. So don't lay with everybody. When you really grasp that and get that maturity down in you, you're going to be so disciplined. And I can speak on it. You're going to be so disciplined. You're going to be so disciplined because you understand, I'm not about to lay with a woman that's supposed to be somebody else's. I'm not going to taint her, because every time someone lays with her, that's an alteration. She's going from seamstress to seamstress, from farmer to farmer, being handled by everybody. And so when she gets to, because you're going to get to somebody you really love, but when you get to them, what are you going to look like? And are they going to want you? Are they going to look at you and say, she's been handled too much for me? This job, what my man Murtai used to say, I'm too old for this. I ain't qualified for this, and I'm not going to pick it up, let alone lay with her. That's maturity, brothers, when you're thinking about the next brother.
Okay. So she had too many kids, too many baby daddies, and she was never a wife.
Right. She had no time. Always, oh, I'm too busy. Oh, I gotta wait till my kids go to sleep. I don't want to come to your house. That's my thing. I don't want to be around your kids. If we not together, I don't want to be around your kids. That's the thing. I can't do that.
Okay. I think that's fair. If you're like not in a serious relationship, you don't want to be around the children. I can understand that. Michael, you want to be in a relationship. You want to get married again. What is the challenging, like, what are the things that you're meeting that are just turning you off, that you decided that you can't marry yet?
Not communicate. I don't like texting. I mean, I'm an 80s baby. I grew up with the phone cord all around the house, so I don't want to text. You know what I'm saying? Liars. I done had somebody lie to me for so long. I mean, I don't know why. And it'd be over dumb stuff like a couple dollars, money. That little couple dollars ain't gonna make or break me. We'll be over something petty.
Okay. Michael, why would a woman be lucky to be with you?
I'm a man. I mean, I'm the whole definition of one. I mean, I was raised right. My granddaddy raised me. Actually, my parents, everybody raised me. But I didn't let the streets get to me. I mean, I could have. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like that. I feel like I deserve to be happy, So I just hope.
Deserve to be happy. Just curious, what is your definition of a man?
How do you ask a man who has put in nearly 20 years of work, been married, a widow, has crazy structure to his life and balance? How do you ask him what is his definition of a man unless you're triggered and you want to put something out there for the other women to go off about?
Somebody that's a provider, somebody's a leader, somebody's an inspirer, somebody that's a protector, somebody that gives knowledge and gives and receives knowledge, actually. A mentor, a father. I mean, I can go on and on, but that was the thing where I would like, father thing. That's the only thing I haven't done in life, is be a father. So
Okay.
everything.
And you want to be a dad. That's important to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what, brothers? Let me just set the record straight here. You are fathers before you ever impregnate a woman. That's why you have to be careful about how you move. That's why the Most High was able to put Adam asleep and take out of him woman. Seed will always come out of you because family starts in the loins of men. So you're always a father, even if you never give your seed to a woman. But she's not a mother until you impregnate her.
Okay, fair enough. All right, let's do it, Michael. You know, happy birthday, first and foremost. I don't necessarily agree with a lot of things that you said, but I think you have the right to desire what you want. You know, I have a heart for you since you lost your wife. That broke my heart to hear. So I do hope that love can come your way again.
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect example. She's going to keep on talking about how she's so heartbroken over the fact that his wife died and all this other different stuff. You're not as heartbroken as you try to get let off, man. You're touched. You've been uneasy in your seat. You know that you're hiding behind makeup, lashes, wigs, lace fronts, whatever you want to call it. You are the epitome of the women today who are trying to be more like drag queens than be confident in their own skin. And so the fact that you keep bringing up his widow, his wife, says everything, because at the end of the day, you know deep down that you're triggered. You know a lot of your audience is triggered, and you're trying to walk a tightrope, trying to walk a fine line. Otherwise, you wouldn't have to keep on bringing that up. Just say how you feel. Just stand on what you believe. He absolutely has the right, as what he described as a man. I believe he is. I believe he's been raised by good men. I believe he's a leader. I believe he's put great time into our community. And every time he punched that clock, it was proof and evidence that nobody can ever argue what this man has done or what he hasn't done, because he's absolutely proved and still proving his worth. Everything he comes home from a company and then puts into himself with his properties and every other little thing that he does to maximize his purpose that God gave him, his talents, his abilities. That's what a leader is. He's proven that he's a man in more ways than one. So when you try to question that, or you try to buck against that, or you try to think that it's cute to make little smart, snide remarks and, you know, question who he is and what he stands for, that's when you know it's evident that you're triggered. And there's not a lot of things I agree with, but, you know, I'm so sorry about your wife, but, you know, there's not a lot of things. You could just leave that to bed. Just be straight up. No chaser. Don't even try to sugarcoat or pander nothing. You don't want to expose who you really are. But it's all over the place, because if anybody's paying attention to your body language, Michael's been smooth. You haven't.